Welcome back to Storm News Now. Let's get into a few topics. I was wondering, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. What are some of the topics that you think the new Congress should take up when they take office in January? Should it be border, impeachment, things like that? I've come up with a kind of a top 10 list that I think is important. They're listed here, not in any particular order. We'll just start with number 10. Rein in the power and authority of every agency created under the federal government. That means go back to the original mandates that they were given when they were established. They don't have the authority as an agency to make law, introduce new rules, regulations on the people that they're supposed to be regulating. All that needs to come through Congress. Any adjustments to the mandate that the agency was given comes from Congress. Number 9 would be to make an extreme effort to balance the budget, to pay off debt, to do things to decrease spending, stop bankrupting this country. It's getting bad. Both parties are at fault. Need to abolish the Department of Education. I think that will save millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in the federal budget. Send it back to the states. Let the states handle their education of the children in their state. They could come up with, in each state, maybe vouchers so that the kids can go to private school. The tax dollars can be diverted to the private schools if they're not attending public schools, things like that. We need to stop the ability of corporations to lobby members of Congress. To me, this is very important. Millions and millions of dollars are spent lobbying congressmen, representatives, senators to get bills and laws passed for their individual corporations or their interests. That's one of the ways that members of Congress become millionaires after they leave office. We need to put a stop to that. We should impose term limits on Congress. That requires Congress to impose term limits on themselves. I think it could be done. I think the people demand it. We want it. We expect them to do that. You don't need to be in Congress for 40, 50 years. That's just absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. They should make stock trading by sitting members of Congress illegal. That's another way that they make millions, through insider trading. They shouldn't be allowed to trade stocks, because a lot of the companies that have stocks available to trade are corporations that these people are going to regulate. They're going to pass new laws and rules. They know what's coming down the pike. They shouldn't be able to do that. It's morally wrong, ethically wrong. Another little item here that I have on the list, this is number 4. The new Congress needs to have the authority to clean house at the DOJ. We may have to impeach a president to do that, to get the authority, because we may need to take the White House in 2024 before we can get that done. But it should be something that could be done. Clean house at the FBI. The FBI needs to be probably disbanded. Start over. Get a new agency. They're so corrupt it's not even funny. Unbelievably corrupt. We need to remake the CIA and our intelligence gathering services. They're all corrupted. They don't work for the American people anymore. And the number 1 that I have on the list is to abolish the Federal Reserve System. We all know how corrupt that is. The United States government borrows money from the Federal Reserve, which is a private bank, pays interest on that loan. Every dollar in circulation has debt attached to it. We need to eliminate that process. We need to go back to a gold standard. We need our currency needs to be based on something real, not fiat. These are just a few of my things that I have on the list. Maybe impeachment should be there of this president. We need to produce more oil in our country. We need oil companies the ability to drill, frack. We need to get out of Ukraine. We need to let the Russians and Ukrainians and Europe handle that on their own. We've got to get a hand on this inflation. The best way to do that is stop spending. These are some of my ideas. I'd like to see some of the Congress members coming up take on these goals and try and implement them, get them passed through Congress, do something that can help the American people, not their own pocketbook. These are just a few words from a Texas boy. If you like what you're seeing here, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and we'll get the word out there, and maybe somebody in the Congress can pick this up and the American people can have a say in what goes on in Congress once again. Thank you.